All right, good morning guys from Bangkok. Today I'm gonna go show you guys a park that's dedicated to the Queen Mother, Rama IX's mother. And we're gonna go to that park, but before we went, I stopped down here along the river to look at the Rama VIII bridge and a couple other things, and I found this little temple. So anyway, we're at the Wat Krua Bodhi or something like that. So it's a temple that's built around King Rama III's time frame, and the Buddha that's behind me, it's a golden Buddha, and it was built roughly around 1157 to 1257. They don't quite know how old it is, but it was brought from Vientiane, Laos around 1787 or so, and they put it in this temple. And there's a couple little chetties and like an old wooden house and stuff like that that's in this temple. But I just wanted to stop and take a look at it, and we're gonna go on our way over to the park, and I'm gonna show you that, okay? So join me, let me show you around, and let's see what we see. So here is the golden Buddha, and they got it in a little glass room, since it's really important for these guys at this temple. And then they also have a kind of a nice little chetty that's like a 12 pointed chetty is what it says on the bottom. And there's some other ordination halls and other Buddhist statues and stuff like that. But we're gonna head on over to the park. Okay, so here we are at the Princess Mother Memorial Park, and this is a park dedicated to King Rama IX's mother. And Rama IX, when he was king, he built this park after his mother's death, and it's in this neighborhood over here across the river from the main part of Bangkok, because this is the neighborhood that she grew up in. So she's an important figure for the Thais. She was influential in a lot of different fields. Her charity work, her dedication to like medicine and everything else. So she's a really respected figure in the history of Thailand. So right here is an activity pavilion, and then they have a little music hall over here. You can see that's kind of a cool looking tree. The park isn't very big, but I wanted to come over here because I had never seen it before. And it looked kind of interesting to me. So here's the little music pavilion with some photos of her up on the wall. And then King Rama IX when he was a little guy. So here's a statue of her. Now Rama IX wanted to dedicate like a memorial to her by refurbishing the old childhood house that she grew up in. She grew up in this neighborhood, and he wanted to do something special for her on her 96th birthday, which was like the 8th cycle of 12, which the Thais keep some dates like that. So anyway, he wanted to restore the old home, but it had been destroyed. So a guy learned that he was looking to do this, and he donated this land over here, and then King Rama IX built like a replica of her childhood house as near as it could be told. And the Queen Mother grew up in this neighborhood, and she was the daughter of a goldsmith. So there's quite a bit to the story, and she told the details about where she grew up and everything, and so they tried to make it as close as they could for what it looked like. You can see this is kind of cool with the trees and stuff here, and some more of the park over on this side of the building. It's a pretty nice area. It's really quiet over here. You have two little wings of like a little museum that we're going to go in and look at here in a sec. And the neighborhood all around it is really cool also. Some old Thai buildings. You can see on that wall over there how the stucco is gone, but you can still see the bricks that are exposed. Okay, so this pavilion here was dedicated to the Princess Mother, or the Princess grandmother, and it was for her 80th birthday, and she actually sat inside that little pavilion. So she was there when they dedicated it to her, and so now it's still standing for her honor. I'm not sure what's in this building, but it's locked up. They have a COVID-19 thing stuck on the door. It's on the very far back of the park, and you can kind of see some of the buildings that surround it. Yeah, this isn't very big. It's I guess 4 rai, which is maybe about 2 acres or so. It's got quite a bit of stuff in it. I really like these old brick walls with the tree branches growing up on them and the tree roots. It's really cool. I like that tree a lot. It's got the vines growing all over the branches. And some places to sit and relax. Okay, and I'm not sure what these are about. They have some brick buildings that have kind of fallen apart, but it may be, they might have built it to reflect like a letter that the king's mother wrote to him, talking about her home that she grew up in. The letter described that they rented a house that was basically just like a shack, and they were responsible for everything inside the walls. They rented the walls, and they were responsible for everything outside of the walls. So they had to fix the roof, the porch, anything like that. And they just had a little tiny building. They had to take a shower from a water bucket in front of the house. And in this letter, she described that they had some houses next to them that a bunch of different people lived in. She described it as like an ethnically diverse. So probably like Chinese, Thais, probably some of the Muslim people and everything else that were living all around them. And on the other side of the house was just an abandoned lot that was kind of in disrepair. So that may be what this is built for. I apologize that I don't know any more about this. Okay, so I did find out a little bit more information here about this. These are some walls that some buildings that they left standing that were built in the old Chinese style from around the period of Rama III. So they left them up here so people can still observe what the old housing units look like. So they would have the little clay fired tiles, and then it was just a brick 2-room house, and it was a bunch of them built here. Pretty neat to see. And the stucco's fallen off mostly off of them. And some more. It looks like they're doing some renovation here in the park. And a water fountain. So this is a little sandstone relief. And on both sides it has stuff carved into it. And it shows off the scenes of the charity work that she did while she was alive with helping education, healthcare. A big focus of hers was educating the children, especially in the border regions, and promoting health through medicine and doctors treating people. All right, so now let's look at the old house. So I got it to where you can't go inside of it, but you can look around and look in the windows. This isn't the original house that she grew up in, like I said before, but a replica. Okay, so this isn't the house. This is her auntie's house. So her aunt had like a tobacco store and sold books and stuff like that. So she spent a lot of time in the house with her aunt. So we can look and see what it used to look like. Some of the tobacco leaves hanging from the ceiling. Just a hammock know how well we can be able to see here. Reed mat on the floor. Pretty difficult, the reflection off the glass. And I got some more stuff over here talking about the house, but it's all in Thai, so I can't help you there. Yeah, it's really tough. You can't see in these windows because of the reflection. See a little bit here. Okay, so this is in the inside of one of the exhibition halls. Has some little stuff talking about her life and some other things. Now, she was the mother of King Rama VIII and King Rama IX. And Rama VIII was killed when he was 20, and then Rama IX took over as the king. And she was born on 21st October 1900. Quite a bit of stuff in here in English. It's really nice for the Thais. They can come in here and learn a little bit about the history. Exhibits you can read about. There's quite a few Thai people that came over that are in the park walking around reading about her. So she actually studied in the United States. So in 1917 she went and studied in the United States. And what a lot of people don't know is Rama IX was actually born in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And here's the other exhibition hall. It's quite interesting. There's quite a bit of stuff talking about her early marriage to the prince and their life together whenever they were living in Massachusetts, and their journeys and how she studied nursing and everything. They had a pretty simple life. The prince had to get approval to marry her because she was a commoner, which was big news at the time. Commoners, she just didn't have a royal title, but they were given permission to marry. And then they had 3 children. They had a daughter who was the oldest, and then the second child was later King Rama VIII, and then the youngest child was Rama IX. Some other stuff. All right, guys, so that finishes up our little tour of the Princess Mother's Memorial Park. This is actually pretty neat. I enjoyed this. This is nice. It's a small, simple little thing, but it's a nice tribute to the mother of Rama VIII and Rama IX. So I would say if you have a little bit of time, come over here and check this out. There's quite a bit of stuff to read and to learn about, and it's pretty interesting to see the old pictures and see how she lived. She was just a simple lady. She embroidered and everything else in her spare time. So pretty cool. And anyway, I enjoyed it a lot. If you enjoyed it, make sure you click like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to my channel. That's what I need, is subscriptions, and share it with your friends. If you've been here, or if you want to know something else, leave me a comment down below, and I'll be sure to try my best to answer any questions. Or if you want me to go see something else, let me know also. So as always, guys, remember, life is a journey, so enjoy.